Hi, I'm Tom Hammond.
And I'm James Francis Brown.
Together, we're the artistic direction team for the Hertfordshire Festival of Music.
Now, for reasons we don't need to explain, the June 2020 festival couldn't take place. However, we are delighted to let you all know that the details of the 2021 festival are now available on our website, heartsmusicfest.org.uk/events.
And it's thanks to the support of a number of organisations as well as individuals that's meant that we've been able to take everything that was going to happen in June 2020 and put it into June 2021. So enormous thanks to Arts Council England, East Herts District Council, Hertford Town Council, our corporate sponsors, Longmore Solicitors, Mullins Brewery and Handelsbanken. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. And a huge round of applause to our amazing dear friends. These are the individual supporters of the festival, all of whom have allowed us to take their contributions forward to 2021 and make the festival happen.
So earlier today, we managed to catch up with our principal artist for the 2021 festival, internationally acclaimed violinist Chloe Hansnip, to find out her latest news and ask her about her 3 appearances at HFoM in a year's time. Good morning, Chloe. It's lovely to see you, and we're so glad to have the opportunity to chat with you today. We're talking about the festival next year, of course, but we'd love to know what you've been up to in recent months.
Well, in recent months, I actually just had my first child. So she's now 3 months old, nearly. And so sort of just been looking after her and enjoying time with her and yeah, doing a little bit of work and a bit of practice, a bit of playing. And yeah, just sort of generally been, I suppose, trying to sort of use this time, this very strange time that we're having, a very sad time in many ways, just to kind of, you know, really hunker down and just sort of utilize it to work and to yeah, really just sort of be with her.
Have you found it's fallen into a new there's a pattern that you find works well? You're moving from one state to another, and are there aspects about that that are helping with the music in some way, a different kind of contemplation?
I think, I mean, in terms of kind of routines and things, it's a bit unpredictable still. But yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you know, playing that is so much more concentrated amount of time that I have to work, because, you know, I might have an hour or two, and that's kind of, you know, it for one patch.
Yeah.
So I think sort of really, you know, zoom in and focus in even more. And yeah, I mean, it's lovely being able to play to her as well, and kind of, yeah, you just, I think with the world the way it is at the moment as well, obviously, you know, there's a lot of thoughts going through one's minds, and there's a lot of reflection, and I think all of that kind of adds to sort of putting it into the music, and just sort of really being quite contemplative in many ways.
And is there anything that you've not missed? I mean, in a way, you'd already planned to be at home for some time. You knew in advance for the rest of us in that sense. But are there things that you actually haven't missed, because this is probably the first time in your entire career that you've spent maybe more than a month at home without having to go anywhere?
In terms of things I haven't missed, not really. I mean, I obviously I miss play. I've missed doing concerts. I've missed sort of going out and traveling and everything. But I mean, I think I just feel very, very lucky to be in the situation that I'm in at the moment. You know, I can be at home, and I can be with my family, my little unit of a family, and it's just been, you know, I've been very, very fortunate to have that, and very, very lucky, I think.
Well, we're very lucky that you're able to come to the festival next summer rather than this summer, as we should have been. And I remember when we all met up to talk about this some time ago, and we were discussing what you might play in an orchestral context. You said you just love to do the Beethoven Concerto, and obviously this year being the 250th anniversary for Beethoven, which is why we did it. But the reason that you particularly wanted to play the concerto was, remember you said it would be the first thing back from becoming a new mom, and it was something that just you feel like just sits in your heart and under your fingers. Is that true?
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of my favorite concerti. It's very impossible to kind of, to say this is my favorite or this is my favorite, because there's so many concertos. But it is definitely one of my absolute favorites to play for many, many different reasons. I love the chamber music aspect, the collaboration between the soloist, if you like, and the orchestra. It's not one of those concertos where sort of, the violin is very much kind of, I mean, I never think of concertos like that anyway, but it's not one of those ones where the violin is kind of, the main thing. There's so much collaboration and so much of such a conversation between instruments. There's so many places where actually the violin is just embellishing or accompanying, an orchestral instrument, as it were. I mean, they become the soloist, if you see what I mean. And I love that aspect of it. And the second movement is incredibly special. I find it's so still and so incredibly beautiful. And yeah, I adore playing it, and it's really, it's just always such a joy.
Fabulous. I've got the honour of accompanying you. I've got to make sure I don't ruin it. That's the whole.
Oh,
Yes, we're also a wonderful thing that's going to be happening will be the masterclass, which we've been running for several years, and it's just a wonderful opportunity for I was going to say young musicians, but of course our approach is to open that up to a wider field, not to feel that things are over once you suddenly reach 18, that you've made and so on. And this is something we've thought about a lot. So it's going to be lovely to have you giving the masterclass next June. But it's also in conjunction with, of course, Future Talent. And as an ambassador, a proud ambassador for Future Talent, I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's an amazing charity. Well, I was going to say children, but the young adults who are part of it, they're so incredibly motivated, and I mean the standard is so high from Future Talent, and I've had a lot of joyful days working with them, mentoring, and sort of working with them, and continue to work with after they've left the program of Future Talent. It was set up to help incredibly talented children from lower income families, and their enthusiasm and just their sort of dedication to music is just wonderful to see, and you can really see, with them you really know that the future of classical music is in very safe hands.
So the third and final thing that you're going to do for us as our principal artist in 2021, Chloe, is the recital with Danny Driver. I wondered if you could talk a little bit about the choice of repertoire. I can say immediately that I'm responsible for the first piece on the programme, in the sense that I suggested you might want to play James's fabulous The Heart's Grace, which was written for the very first Hertfordshire Festival of Music.
Absolutely. I mean, the programme that we've come up with for the recital, I'm actually really, really looking forward to playing. We have, as you say, James's piece, which is so incredibly atmospheric, full of fantasy, and really very, very lyrical. And that leads into Beethoven's Opus 96, the last of the 10 sonatas that he wrote for piano and violin. And but for me, I love this combination because they're both inspired by nature and aspects of nature. For me, the beginning of, well, I can't say for sure that Beethoven's was inspired by nature, I guess, but for me, the beginning of the Opus 96 sonata is so much like a forest waking up, and sunrise and the birds and bird song, and I absolutely adore playing that sonata. And then in the second half we have Judith Weir, music for 247 strings, which is quite spiky, quite sparky. There's a wonderful interplay between the instruments. And then the Kreutzer Sonata, which was it is such a wonderful piece to play. It's quite energetic. It can be quite violent. Sort of, I suppose, more how we think of Beethoven as a composer, whereas the Opus 96 shows the sort of the more intimate side and the softer side of Beethoven that we don't necessarily get to see that often. But the Kreutzer, you know, it's very much for piano and violin. It's very much kind of almost quasi un concerto, which is what's written in, I believe, in the manuscript, for the first manuscript. And it's, yeah, I'm very, very excited about this program. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play, and there's so much conversation in the program as well. I mean, between the piano and the violin. And it's, yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to playing all of those pieces.
That's lovely. Yeah, so looking forward to that. Well, Chloe, I think we should let you get back on with your routine, your new routine. Thanks so much for talking to us. So next year you're going to be playing. We've got our 3 appearances from you. The first is the concerto on June the 5th. Then on the 8th we have the masterclass, and then on June the 10th, 2021, the recital with Danny Driver. So really looking forward to that. It's going to be at Queenswood School, the latter, and you know that's another very, very important partnership to us, which we're very excited about. So we'll say bye bye for now, Chloe, and look forward to seeing you, if not before, in around about a year's time.
Definitely. There's so much. Really, really looking forward to it.
Okay, thanks very much, then. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Obviously, it's been a really difficult period for so many people, and we know that music can't possibly heal everything, but we do think it will be a very special year when audiences and performers alike can meet again and experience live music.
And it's going to be amazing to work with school children of different ages and people living with dementia in our outreach projects, which are, of course, hugely important to HFoM.
So do have a look at the website, have a look at the performances and the events page, make a note of the dates for your diary. Our box office will be up and running from early April, and you'll be able to book tickets online or by the telephone.
So thanks for watching, and warmest wishes from everyone at the Hertfordshire Festival of Music.